Hi, this is Meg. Welcome to Spit It Out. This is where we cut the fluff and spill life's real truths. Welcome back. It's been a while. If you're watching, I am in a black hoodie, hair is up, no makeup. You got all of me today, babe. If you're not watching, I hope your day is going well, or I hope your day was well. I've taken a little time to not podcast lately just because it's been a little heavy around here in the world, and I just want to put out a little trigger warning in case anyone wants to click off right now. I am going to be talking a little bit about mental health, depression, anxiety, and a little bit of what's happened in the news the last 2 weeks. Nothing political, just my own feelings, honestly. I feel like a lot of this can probably resonate with people everywhere, and I kind of wanted to just share my experience about what's been going on in my life and how I've been processing it. And if you're kind of thinking you've been going through the same thing as me, or even a little bit struggling here and there, this episode might be for you. And if not, I wish you the best and I love ya, and I'll see you in the next one. But going into this topic, I kind of wanted to start. What do I want to start with? 2 weeks ago, I was at work and I was on TikTok, as I do, because I do make content a lot. And so I tend to be online a lot, for those of you who didn't know. And I was unfortunately made aware that a public figure had been killed. And I was kind of taken aback. It was lunchtime, it was like 1:30 in the afternoon. I still had like a couple patients to see before I went home that day. And I kind of just like went down this rabbit hole of things I probably shouldn't have seen. And then I also saw another video of like someone else on a train. And it was just like, it just hit me so hard. It was like, what is going on? It was really crazy. Just for some context, I like scary movies. I like horror movies. I like gore. I like realistic gory movies. But seeing like what's been going on in the world with all that stuff just was really heavy. And I felt like I had to compartmentalize all of those feelings, because the next day I traveled to Key West, Florida to hang out with my sister-in-law for her bachelorette party, which was absolutely fabulous. It was beautiful. What else can you do best than love other people? But I had a really long flight. It was from like 11:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and then I don't think I arrived in Key West until 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So it was a long journey. Anyway, I didn't sleep much, and so I just kind of pushed it off. I was fine. The next few days, I enjoyed it. It was so great. So much fun. But then I get home to my husband, and I'm literally just in the airport, and it's, I just hear the hustle and bustle of like people moving around and people walking and talking and whatever, and I just feel like something's off, and I just get this wave of like depression, and I feel so numb. Like so numb. And I've only gotten this feeling a couple times. Obviously, it's never super fun to feel that way. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but I felt everything. I think the last couple days of the trip just really helped me just push it away for now and not process anything. I also hadn't seen my husband for a little while before I eventually saw him. So I think I just felt like so much more relief than I thought I would when I saw him. I just talked everything out, and I didn't really know what I was saying, but I was just like sad about like everyone and what happened to them. And I was just like still kind of traumatized, and like I still think about those days 2 weeks ago. Yes, they were just a few days, but they really weighed heavily on my heart. I had some thoughts about like making some podcast videos earlier, and then whatever. And so I stopped for a second. I was like, I need to figure out what I even want to say, because I just have so much on my mind. But anyway, thanks for listening to that. If you felt the same way at all the last few weeks, let me know. I know we're all human and we can all feel these heavy feelings together, and that is totally okay. I'm seeing a therapist, and my next session is next week. I'm very excited. I think it's very healthy to go to therapy, work on your mental health, all of that fun stuff. I think since 2 weeks ago, social media in general has been kind of tainted a little bit for me, and I mean, it's gotten better the last few days. It's just a little tainted, but I'm working back into it. I have some really cool things happening with my social media coming up. I have a few podcast guests that I'm super excited about, and I think you guys will absolutely love. My TikTok page is still growing. It's slowly chugging along. I'm really happy about that. I'm really loving supporting smaller creators and creators who are about to graduate dental hygiene school, which is amazing. If I can do anything in this world, I have the itchiest nose in the world right now. If you can watch, my nose is so red. I've just been like scratching. If I can do anything right in this world, I think it's to inspire someone to go to dental hygiene school, or who's getting out of dental hygiene school, to follow the standard of care and do everything as correct as they can possibly do and stand up for themselves. I think all of those things would make me a little happy camper. That's for sure. As we move into this new era of not feeling heavy all the time and moving forward and staying positive, I have just stopped wanting to be so put together with my social media all the time. I feel like my last few podcasts, I've like gotten dressed up, as in I put on a lot of makeup, all this stuff, and looked cute, which I totally think is fine for some episodes. Absolutely. You know, the one I'm doing with my guests this weekend, of course I'm gonna look cute, obviously. But I think some of these solo episodes, I kind of just want to be raw and spit it out. Like, I need to spit out what the heck is on my head, because I think all of you should too. Absolutely. I think there's nothing wrong with spitting it out. Tell me what you think all the time. Something in the dental hygiene world that's been kind of on my mind lately is CE courses. I'm having a freaking tough time finding ones that I want to do. And for the record, I don't get like compensated to do CE courses. Unfortunately, I really wish I could like write them off or something like that, but I cannot. So I'm really stingy when it comes to CEs as well. Not because I don't think they're beneficial. I don't necessarily get any additional compensation by finishing a CE course, if that makes sense. Dentists typically can take a CE course to further their education, whether it be a veneer case, an implant case, something like that, where they can technically make more money after the CE because they've learned additional skills. Dental hygiene is a little different, where yes, you are more educated. You can argue that you are more valuable, but do the insurance companies think you're more valuable? No. Will they pay more if you've done 5 more years of CE education than your neighbor? No. For a dentist, will you be able to bill out more codes, therefore get paid more if you do more complex cases that you take CE courses for? You get the picture. I hope that makes sense. I'm not stingy on my education. I love learning, and genuinely most of the things that I learn are from reading like peer-reviewed articles and talking to people online, which is crazy, but like I learn more skills from my TikTok friends than a freaking CE course. I mean, there's only so much you can just film and do and sell to someone when it's like, well, I have the entire internet at my disposal and all of my cool TikTok friends are teaching me the same thing. So in a way, I almost feel like I'm getting more real life hands-on experience on TikTok, but then I'm getting the paper certificate just to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Tell me if I'm crazy. Okay, just tell me if I'm crazy. I'd love to know. I've learned so much from my friend Shelby RDH on TikTok. It's actually insane. I didn't get a whole lot of hands-on perio experience in hygiene school. Very limited cases. I didn't get anything too gross or negligent. And a lot of my instructors, you know, they had so much to teach us. They kind of just focused on what we had, obviously. It's not like we could pick and choose our patients. So I'm back, and my nose is more red. Yes, I was scratching the heck out of my nose for about 30 seconds there. I think there's something in the air. I don't know if there's like dust. There's probably dust in this room, but my nose is so itchy. It's driving me crazy. I just hit my 3 months at my new job, which has been really nice. I can say that I'm a lot less stressed at this new job. I think this week I only worked 34 hours. I don't even think I saw like 25 patients, maybe? I don't know. We have a lot of openings in our schedule. We're kind of that rare office that we're just like, you know us, you know us. And if you don't know us, you're going to love us. You know what I'm saying? Very small. There's one doctor, one hygienist, me, one assistant, and then one front desk lady. Very small. Very niche. There's not a lot of patients. I think we still have like 600 patients, which is insane. At my old office, we had like thousands of patients. I was there for 2 years. I was still meeting new patients, which is insane. But anyway, I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one.